Do you have a collection you need to remove off of your credit report fast? Well, there's a dirty little secret collection companies don't want you to know. Next time a collection company calls, make sure you tell them, I would be glad to talk to you, but I just don't want to talk to you on a recorded line. They will tell you we cannot do that and immediately hang up. And knowing this secret helped my user Greg in my elite credit system remove his collections within 12 days. And I'm going to share this secret with you in this video so you can remove your collections fast. Now, if you're new to this channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey and showing you how to leverage your credit to make money. So if you like that kind of information, make sure you subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up and hit your notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. And if you go to my website, I give you a free heart inquiry removal package, and I have other packages for purchase to help you remove your negative items. And I just rolled out my elite credit system. This is designed to help you with your personal credit, and users like Sean got great results. He went from a 612 credit score with all his credit scores being over 770. And now his credit score is at an 803. And with my business credit coaching, Sean has even attained business credit. So if you need my help in both of these categories, you can sign up by looking for the links in the description of this video and in the pinned comment section. Let's jump into this information. Now, one thing you need to know about collections and how they became to that collection. Generally, you had a debt with your original creditor, and that debt wasn't paid over 180 days. And then it turns into a collection. Now, sometimes the original creditor will hire a collection company to contract with them to try to collect on that debt before that 180 days. But most of the time, those collection companies is what you call a third party collection company. They actually bought that debt from the original creditor. Now, this is problematic. Now, the reason why it is problematic for the collection company, because when you dealt with that original creditor, you had to give that original creditor permission to be able to sell that debt when you first initiated that relationship with the original creditor. And many times when you have debts like credit cards, people apply for that online and they receive that card in the mail. But you are supposed to sign the contract that comes with that card and send it back to the original creditor. Now, the problem with that original creditor, they don't send you that letter certified mail, which that credit card is attached to. And that brochure in itself, what does it really say on that agreement in terms to the interest rates, any late penalties if you didn't sign it and send it back? That's where the problem is. There's no way you agreed to sell that debt if you didn't sign a contract. Now, many people will tell you, hey, when you use that credit card, you agree to the use and the terms of that credit card. But what was the terms of the credit card? The original creditor might say the terms is this, and you may say the terms was something else with what you got in the mail. They didn't send it certified. So at that point, you can really have an issue with collecting that debt when it comes to be a third party collection company. This is why they want to record your phone conversations. They know that they're already on weak terms. And so you could really fight this. And they don't have a contract entitling them to be the collector on that debt. So what you need to do with these companies is send them a debt validation letter. That is your right under the Fair Collection Practices Act. You have a right to ask them to verify that debt within 30 days. Now, with that debt validation letter, you want to make sure you're demanding the original contract, the application, and you want the full accounting of that account. And you also want proof that they purchased that debt, because many of these companies will steal other collection companies' debt and try to report it on you, and they don't have a chain of purchase or a chain of title to that debt. Where's the proof that they purchased that debt? They could have just got your information and now threatening you with this collection that they didn't even buy. So you want to demand that in the debt validation letter, and you want to send it postal certified mail. Make sure you do that, and do not sign that letter. I repeat, you guys, never sign those letters to them, because they are not above taking your signature and imposing it to a contract. You see, the original creditor, they write that debt off. That's why it says charge off, write off, and they actually get a credit for that loss from the IRS. So what happens is, if you owed them a $2,000 debt, you didn't pay them back, they write that loss on their taxes. And if now they try to collect from you that $2,000 when the IRS accredited them that $2,000 that they didn't have to pay in their taxes, that's a $4,000 enrichment. That's double dipping. So what they do is take your debt and my debt, package it up in a portfolio, and sell it to that collection company for pennies on the dollar. So you might owe $1,000 debt, but that collection company might have purchased that debt for only $50 or $25. And all of these companies are making money on your ignorance. So now, where did you release the right for that debt to be sold? Because the debt is owed, it doesn't give any Tom, Dick, and Harry the right to collect on it. Right now, you might owe an electric bill at your apartment or at your home. I can't show up at your door and show you that bill and demand that you pay me your electric bill. Where's my right to collect on that debt? Even though the debt is owed, it doesn't mean I have a legal right to collect. You, in that case, will call the cops on me, because you'll say to me, why would I pay you my light bill? It's the same thing with them. They have to show legal right for that debt to be sold, and they have a legal right to collect on it. But many a times, these debts don't have a contract that you sign. So you need to demand that from them. When you talk to them on the phone, what they're trying to do is bind a verbal contract with you. You guys that are married understand how that works. If you went to the altar and said, I do, guess what? It's a whole legal process called divorce in order to get out of that verbal contract. They're trying to do the same thing with you on that phone call. The worst thing you could do with these companies is to start negotiating with them. So a lot of you guys, they'll call you and say, hey, I'm Verizon. You owe that debt with Verizon, right? We're here to collect. And you say, yeah, I do owe it. I can pay you $25 a month. Boom, they got you. Because now you're agreeing to do business with them. They never gave you any kind of service, any kind of product. How do you owe them? And some of these companies be straight up lying. I had a particular company recently contact me about a debt and telling me that I owed them a debt that I knew I didn't owe a debt. I called the original creditor and they told me, no, you don't owe anything. So I contact this company in writing, and you know what they did? Send me a letter back. Oh, you don't owe this debt. They do that because if I begin to agree to pay them, then they have me on the hook with a verbal contract. And now they can sue me because they're recording that call. So you got to be very careful about paying these companies because a lot of them are straight up fraudulent. Okay. They will slap a debt on you and they really stole your identity, to be honest, because even with that company, I asked them, how y'all get my information? And I don't even owe this. You got to be careful because if you begin to make a verbal contract to pay them, you can open yourself up to lawsuits from a statute of limitations standpoint, because some debts in your state may be past the time where they can actually sue you to collect on that debt. And you might open yourself up to litigation. Or if you pay that, most of these companies are not going to remove that off your credit report. What they're going to do is actually hurt your credit more. I'm going to update it as a paid collection. And because now it's updated as a negative new item, boom, it's going to drop your credit report immediately. So the longer a negative item is sitting on your credit report without hitting you every month with a negative late payment or a negative CO you might see on your credit report, if it's just sitting there, the longer it sit there, it doesn't affect your credit score as much as time go on. So you would be remiss to pay this collection you do not owe, possibly, or that can be identity theft for these companies. And they're trying to trick you in a verbal relationship with them. So you don't want to do that because then that's a verbal contract. And if it is a medical debt, what a lot of these companies will do to show you as proof that you owe it is send you a bill. A bill is not a contract. Keep that in mind. And if it's a medical bill and it has some of your personal identifiers, such as your phone number, or if you went in for a radiation or some kind of medical procedure, that is a violation of the HIPAA law. They should not have your personal and private information unless they are following the HIPAA law to the T. So by them sending that to you, letting them know they got your medical information, that can be a huge fine and violation on these companies. These companies are the bottom feeders. And many of these companies are using the US Post Office to commit mail fraud. Because in my case, I didn't owe them the debt at all. But if I would have agreed to pay them, then they could have sued me. And also, if I paid the debt, they would have put it negatively on my credit report and can report it for 7 years. So you want to make sure you're always sending out that debt validation letter and never talk to these companies and agree to pay anything with them over the phone because they're trying to get you into a trap. And that is the secret that these collection companies don't want you to know. Now, if you take these steps, when you initially get that letter, if they do not verify within 30 days of you sending that out, when you get that collection letter, if they do not verify that debt within 30 days, when they send you that initial collection letter, they cannot put that on your credit report. Now, hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, drop it in the comments section. But if you have more detailed questions for me, you can submit your questions at my website, and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.